Thursday, April the 30th. Again, we'll try to keep these under 5 minutes. This one might go a little bit longer because it's got a lot of information to get to. So, there we go. All right, so today we're going to talk about asthma. We're going to talk about allergies. Well, asthma, some of you guys are familiar with this already. Some of you guys may suffer from asthma. Asthma is, please understand this, yes, you have the constriction of the airways, and a lot of people are familiar with that, but what people don't understand is there's also a mucus that builds up, okay? This is all mucous membrane, our eyes, nose, throat, all that's mucous membrane. So it secretes mucus, okay? So if somebody's having as asthmatic attack, there's a buildup of mucus in the lungs. So oftentimes somebody will take medicine for asthma, all right? Well, most commonly prescribed in the United States is something called albuterol. Well, if you're taking an inhaler of albuterol and you're getting your puffs and that medicine is not getting to the proper position or the proper parts of the lung, well, it's probably because there is too much mucus for that medicine to get through. So oftentimes you might see somebody puff and puff and puff. It doesn't matter how many puffs they take, the medicine's just not getting to get there. So that person needs to be rushed to the hospital right away. And then if they can't get it into the system, they might actually have to go intravenously through a vein and produce it. So you might hear albuterol, salbutamol, same medicine to take those airways and open them back up and not secrete as much mucus, okay? Well, why would somebody have an asthmatic attack? Well, it could be a lot of different things. Number one, exercise. Exercise is a common one, but that's not the only way. You might get it from environmental issues, smoke, dust. You might be being around an animal can cause an asthmatic attack. Stress can cause an asthmatic attack. So there's a lots of things. So again, low oxygen levels at that time due to mucus and the airways constricting. Second thing let's get to is allergies. Well, please understand this about allergies. Allergies can develop at any time in your life. I was not allergic to penicillin prior to about 5 years ago. Now I'm allergic to penicillin. So anybody can develop allergies at any time. My son, he was at 4 before we even diagnosed him with tree nut allergies. And tree nuts and peanuts are different. Tree nuts grow obviously a nut from a tree. A peanut grows from a vine, but a lot of people misunderstand that. But you can be allergic to anything. Seafood. We talked about both types of nuts, eggs, wheat, anything you can be allergic to. And we don't necessarily know the reasons why, and they can develop again at any time. So if somebody is having an extreme allergic reaction, they might be something called anaphylactic shock. All right, so that's a life-threatening situation where the airways are constricting. Not only are the airways constricting, but the blood vessels dilate. So if the blood vessels are dilating and there's a lack, they lose blood pressure. So again, pretend that you have a hose, okay, and a garden hose. And if you're watering the plants, no problem. You can build up pressure by putting your thumb over the top of the hose. That increases pressure. But if the hose wasn't this wide, if it was a lot larger of a hose, there wouldn't be as much pressure. And that's what happens with our blood vessels. So if our blood vessels are dilating and our airways are constricting, now we have a problem, because now the heart has to work so much harder to get red blood cells to all parts of my body because of low blood pressure. So somebody that's having allergies might get something we call an EpiPen or an Auvi-Q. And all that is synthetic adrenaline. Okay, so it's going to make that heart pump faster. It's going to tighten those blood vessels. And so since both my son and my daughter have allergies, and my son he's been in anaphylactic shock. It's scary, and I never want to go through that again. They always carry these things. So when he was little, he was carrying a junior EpiPen. So they come in packs of 2, and here's just a normal size EpiPen. But they come in packs of 2, and they just pop out real easy. And you would give one to somebody that was having an allergic reaction. You're not going to give them both right away. You want to give one, and you have to understand. Remember, EMTs, it takes about 7 to 8 minutes. Okay, so you're just buying time for an EMT to get there, or for you to get them to a hospital, and then now this might work for 10, 15 minutes or whatever the case is, and then you might have to give them a second dose. Okay, so these again are juniors, these green ones, and these yellow ones are for an adult. You might also see something called an AviQ. AviQs are nice because they're a little bit smaller. A guy can carry this in his pocket where, oh, there goes our timer, so I'll try to wrap this up. So a girl might carry this in a purse. It doesn't matter. Girls, guys, they can have either types of EpiPen or epinephrine or AviQs, okay? Same drug that's in both. But the neat one about this, it talks to you. So if you thought a friend was having an allergic reaction and you're not exactly sure how to administer an EpiPen, that's okay. AviQs are great. Now, they'll have the instructions right on the back and you can read it, but we're going to do a live, we're going to do a real demonstration, and this is an expired one. Unfortunately, they expire after a year, so you have to go out and buy new ones. So yeah, it's kind of cost prohibited, especially for my family, because both of my kids have allergies, and so we have to have one at school, one in their backpack, one at home. So we're buying multiple ones, and oftentimes, you know, if you don't have insurance, these can range anywhere from $200 to $500. Luckily, we have some insurance and some rebates are out there that you can find. So anyway, so let's do this. I'm just going to inject. This is just a plain towel. I'm just going to ball this up. Okay. Excuse me. Most people are going to inject it right into the large muscle, right into their thigh. I'm not going to inject this into my thigh. Even if I did, it probably wouldn't do anything. Again, it's just adrenaline. I don't want to feel, I don't want to feel a little spastic, twitchy. I don't need the synthetic adrenaline, okay? But we're going to go ahead and do this. So listen to this, and they talk you right through it. That's why we like AviQs, okay? This is a real thing, so if you had a friend, you'd do the same. So pull this red part off.
Not ready to use. Place black end against outer thigh. Then push firmly until you hear a click and hiss sound and hold in place for 2 seconds.
All right, so I put this right here in my thigh. I'm not going to put it into my thigh.
Black end against
I'm just going to put it right into this towel.
Push firmly until you hear a click and hiss sound and hold in place for 2 seconds.
Some the older ones might say 5 seconds.
2, 1. Injection complete. Seek emergency medical attention.
All right, so it's right here in this. So we're just going to close this back up, and there you go. So you would take whatever EpiPen that you would gave them, and then you're going to go ahead and make sure that you submit this or give this to an EMT so they can transport them to the hospital with an extra dose. But most ambulances would certainly have extra dose of epinephrine. So anyway, hopefully that you get a little bit of understanding about allergies and as well as asthma. All right, and we'll catch you tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll talk about diabetes. Take care.